Hello, this is Cryptolyze. I hope you are well. On this Monday, 26 February 2024, we meet today to talk about MATIC, Polygon's cryptocurrency, which we will soon call, and will have to call POL in a short time. I'll explain that to you in a few moments. As usual, we will divide this video into two parts. A fundamental part, we are going to come back to what is MATIC, what is Polygon, the news which is quite crazy at the moment. We are going to come back to it, and then we will go to the graphs to project ourselves in the short, medium, long term, on purchase prices, sale prices, and we will start by recalling what Polygon is. It is a layer 2 of Ethereum. So historically it was a plasma, then after it became a sidechain, and in fact Polygon, it evolved around Ethereum, however it was, and it evolves according to trends. Now we are moving towards a layer 2, which will be a ZK rollup, a ZK Validium. Don't worry, we will explain that in a few moments. The principle behind Polygon is to interface around Ethereum by in fact offering a set of ecosystems which will be very inexpensive. Polygon's big strength is that during the crash of Terra Luna, they actually absorbed almost all of the projects that were present on Terra Luna, the blockchain that disappeared, and they continued to drain projects additional to arrive at more than 32,000 projects built on Polygon, and by far it is certainly the blockchain which builds the fastest and strongest of all currently compatible EVM blockchains. Polygon is also supernets being configurable and customizable mini Ethereum networks that can be made public or not, therefore very interesting for example, institutions or companies. And above all, they have implemented their solution Zero Knowledge Role P. Overall, it is the ability to validate a set of transactions and write them directly to Ethereum. So we use the security of Ethereum, but we have something that is hyper-scalable. It is the new narrative of compatible Layer 2 EVMs that we have known for a few months already, and which brings enormous value to all blockchains and the Ethereum ecosystem. They also launched Polygon 2.0, the roadmap to transform Polygon. The goal is to transform Polygon and make it evolve in new technologies. They have been preparing this since 2021 with a lot of purchases. They bought many specific companies including ZK Knowledge, therefore a technology which will allow them to launch their Polygon 2.0, which will involve the implementation of their ZK EVM Validium, which allows them to directly validate everything that is on Polygon on Ethereum, and to create the Polygon 2.0 ecosystem in which the MATIC token has a very important role. Well, it will no longer be called MATIC but rather POL. This is something that's coming together, don't worry, we'll cover it when there's a real need to do so. And then, we have here this notion of CDC, which was launched CDK Chain, which is in fact the development kit for building blockchains. As we see, in fact, it is generally mini polygons, which are constructed, highly configurable and interfaced with an interoperability layer to be processed by Ethereum, and everything will be leveraged by POL, by MATIC, and hence the interest. And there, they started to communicate, that's it, on the evolution of the blockchain. We go from monolithic to modular to aggregated. So that means the aggregate layers, in which we have this notion of aggregation layer, which allows us to be able to combine all the blockchains and to have what we call a bridge. Unique, in which if ever I am on Polygon and I want to buy an NFT which will be on a particular layer which is interfaced with the aggregation layer, at that moment I do not have to go through a bridge, ask myself the question, do I have liquidity or not? To wait. No. I can buy directly. It's directly linked by a single smart contract, and I can transfer the cash. This is a very big development because it really makes it possible to break this notion of fractionability in terms of liquidity, which really poses a problem for all blockchains. So there we have a real answer, after which is very marketed around Polygon and MATIC. But we are starting to get used to it, and everyone was complaining about the fact that there was no communication. But it's normal. At a given moment, you have to know how to turn the volume, lower the volume, in order to be able to come back with communication, something that they have started to do to simply prepare the narrative that they are going to defend in the bull run, which is going to prepare. On a technical level, we have something that is rather clean too. We are going to shift that. We therefore have a MATIC Polygon, which is a little above 10 billion. We will talk about it a little later. But what is interesting to see is that we have indeed carried out a phase of reaccumulation, which we know very well. Distribution, accumulation. And therefore here we are in an end of Wyckofian accumulation on this lower part, in which we have here a very important rework of one, and precisely. We have MATIC and Polygon in which we made a big acceleration on 2023. February 2023, with before October 2022. We have something which was very, very strong on 2022 and 2023, in which we had a big breath with at the same time a downward pressure which was quite strong, and we returned to an increase in volume with marketing, which is relatively present, and we are currently in a big resistance. If we ever break this resistance, it implies that we are going to do a little pullback and we are going to get the 1.6 fairly quickly. And what would be consistent with what is happening? I remind you that we currently have Ethereum, which is in the process of pushing. We have the compatible EVM ecosystem, which risks recovering part of this liquidity, and therefore having a runoff of the usual liquidity. BTC, ETH, altcoin, and MATIC could precisely perform in relation to that, especially if we break here technically, and we does a little pullback on this support. What can we set as a purchasing target? We are already in a spot zone, which is very interesting. And then as a target, we can go for a classic wave, 1 wave, 2 wave, 3 Elliotite. Go for the target of 1,618, which is in the 5 for MATIC. If we want to project ourselves on a pure vector of expansion at the level of the market cap in relation to the next bull run, we could look at targets which are much more important. Potentially look for the target 2 or 2,618 of Fibonacci, of the Fibonacci extension. Not things which are much more expansionist with a bull run which would revolve around the layers, to Ethereum with Polygon MATIC, which would take a preponderant role. And if you want to know more about how to buy, when to sell, having a real strategy, I have shared mine with you, which is available in the 100 comment and description for free. This is the investment guide, and we'll see you soon for a new video.